bugging out looking into somebody's soul. They don't need paintings.
Paintstagram hasn't come out yet.
Paintstagram, God doggy. Bloody appendage.
Everything can have an angle if you want it to.
That's a life lesson right there, holy shit. I see like a murder tool.
Prime ass squares.
I'm gonna use this glitter. This paint sucks. What the hell, Rust-Oleum? All of the Lambos that you've ever wanted.
Right.
Glitter parties that you've ever wanted.
Glittery Lambos.
Glittery glambos.
Glittery Glambos.
Ooh, glittery glambo. I love that blue color. Is it out of the tube, that turquoise?
No, I just mixed some white with it.
Nice, nice. Nice!
Just gotta...
Seiji.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the last shoot you did with all the plastic and all the frickin' weird ass masks and shit. What was your vision behind it? Like what were you thinking when you had the spark of inspiration? The dark stuff.
Man, yeah.
Let's hear that.
So, I don't do a ton of like personal work as a photographer, I guess. I'm actually relatively new to being a photographer.
How new?
Like 2 to 3 years.
No joke.
Maybe. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
I played around with it in high school a little bit and I really enjoyed it, but I don't know, I just never really stuck with it. And at the time I mean, still into music, but that was kind of like the career path that I had sort of seen for myself.
Sure.
I never expected this to be like a career thing for me.
That's awesome.
And then it sort of happened accidentally. I mean, not that like I'm crushing it by any means,
Right.
But
you're making good work. So how did it come about?
so yeah, I kind of wanted to start doing more personal stuff, and I wanted to like kind of come up with a series because I had to do a show recently. And I was just like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, you know, because I don't have bodies of work really. I just kind of have like stuff that I've done for other people. And then also like, I don't know, the kind of classic stuff you do while you're learning photography. Like, here's a hot girl in a place.
Yes.
Or here's like this cool looking dude in a place. And here's, you know, whatever, like nothing too...
Out the box yet.
Yeah, and like nothing was very conceptual. Nothing was, I don't know.
So what brought it about?
Yeah, so I've kind of enjoyed writing, like writing. And I've been into fiction a lot lately, and kind of wanted to create sort of a body of work that followed some kind of story. And I didn't really write a story, but I was like, I want to kind of like create characters as if it were, you know, part of a movie or a script or something, and then get people kind of involved on a long-term basis, so that, you know, if I shoot the same people over and over again, I'm always going to have them play this character.
Ah, that's cool.
I wanted to kind of like start creating some sort of, whether or not it was a real story or anything, kind of create this like world with characters, and that way everything kind of seems cohesive, and I can start really you know, really leaning into that. And so the first real shoot that I did from this concept was with Katie and Marianne, and I called them the Tricksters.
Absolutely.
Which was just like, I really like the idea of like a Bonnie and Clyde type pair of people, and I wanted to use 2 women because I just generally think women are stronger characters. For them, I wanted to basically just have like, you know, these 2 people who sort of like found each other in a fit of boredom or something.
Yes.
And they just start stirring up some crazy shit.
Like mischievous.
Yeah, sort of like a pair of Harley Quinns type of thing.
Definitely came across as that. I just want to sit in a room. Okay, I don't know those girls at all, and I want to sit in a room with what I think their character is that you've brought out in them.
Totally.
That's nicely
I
done.
mean, they're both really excellent models,
Sure.
but they're also like they were really good when I, beforehand I kind of talked to them about this idea and like the characters that I'm trying to, portray, and they were both really into it. Especially when I was like, hey, I'm going to put this like crazy body bag between you guys, and you guys just did something terrible, and you're kind of like enjoying it, but also reconciling whatever that looks like, and
what's next?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, man.
As simple as those images kind of seemed like it.
What? You think those images are simple?
Well, I mean, like, it wasn't like a crazy set. Like, it was just
fair. Okay, got it. Yes,
it wasn't like I rented out a building.
Got it.
Kind
Okay.
of stuff.
I was like, I am fucked then, man.
No. I mean, it was simple in the sense that like, it wasn't involving that many moving pieces, and it still like costed me enough money to where I was like, all right, I need to do something with this, otherwise I'm just throwing money down the drain.
Well, yeah. God, that's a good feeling.
I mean, not like, I don't care if I sell images or whatever, but
it would be sweet.
That would be dope.
Right. Heck yeah.
Who knows what kind of person wants to have like a picture of Katie and Mary Ann holding up a bloody bag in their house,
Oh, they're out there.
Yeah. You want to buy a picture?
I'm feeling lazy in this painting, man. I'm pissed because I used the glitter to try to show off with glitter. But
it looks cool though.
Thanks,
it adds like a nice texture to the
Thank you.
to that base layer.
I appreciate that. Man, it's good to hear it. Okay, let me ask you this. When you were in there shooting the shots that you got with them, was there a time that you were so engaged that you felt it like connected with everything that was in there? Like a flow state, I guess you could call it.
Honestly, not really with
Awesome.
that shoot.
Okay.
I wish there was. I think I was kind of stressed because I was taking myself so seriously for the first time.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, I think it is when you're trying hard, but also, sometimes you need to not take yourself so seriously.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't know. Sometimes images are going to become what they're going to become, and you don't really have that much control other than the idea.
Yes, man. And if you hold too tightly to that idea, it seems like the disappointment. Well, maybe not disappointment. And I'm speaking from my own experience.
No, yeah. I mean, I think that's exactly it. Like you have this idea in your mind, and maybe you don't even know exactly what it's supposed to be, but you know what it's not. And when it's not that, you're just kind of like, oh shit, like I fucked this up. I wasted my time. I wasted their time.
The images the ones that you've posted so far, there was one of she was waiting underneath. It was at night, and she was in like at a bus stop or like.
That's actually a different shoot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that equally is badass.
That was probably that was for my friend Ellery.
Okay.
She goes by Eza.
She plays music.
Yeah.
Got it.
She's like a pop artist.
Got it.
Pop, R&B, soul, whatever. Crazy good voice.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I did that shoot, and that was one of those places where I had sort of like the location in mind before really anything else, and I'd driven by this bus stop, and it was so isolated on its own, and I had to do a little bit of manipulation to make it as as
desolate,
forlorn. Yeah,
cool.
Exactly.
That's cool.
As it turned out, but I think that turned out really cool, and that was another example of someone who's just like, I had this idea, and she was just like, yeah, do whatever you want to do, and I was just got to kind of like really push my, whatever weird agenda across to someone's photos. And
can I tell you the feeling that I got when I saw that?
Please.
Cool. It was despondent, curious, a little scary.
Yeah.
And
man, that's cool.
heck yeah. That's the vibe you were trying to create?
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
I don't know. I feel like things that I really relate to are usually like loneliness and fear.
I wanted to know her. Do you see what I'm saying?
Totally,
Through the
yeah.
photo. I wanted to walk up and see if I was going to die.
Yeah,
That's
no,
how it
totally.
made me feel.
And I feel like so often we kind of crave those experiences.
Why do you think?
I don't know, because we're bored. I think about that all the time. Like I'm fucking bored all the time.
Are you bored? No, you're not
Right
bored.
now?
No, there's people out here. You see these people? people right there.
They might be bored.
Yeah, you guys bored.
Thumbnail.
Luke, you want to see some not bored shit? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, you never told us this dude's name. Who is this?
Seiji?
Who am I?
Oh, hey, this is Make It Perfect. It's my friend Seiji.
What's up?
Heck yeah, a great photographer here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Ryan Rado, and we're just painting.
Painting some stuff.
Yeah, and we're getting it going, trying to get the juices flowing and the engine moving, the oil, you know what I mean? So sit back and see if you can have a sandwich, okay? Well, hey! Do you know about Jerry's Art Supply in East Nashville on Main Street? These are from that place, and these are some well-used tubes of paint. If you like using Lucas or you haven't used Lucas acrylics, you can go to Jerry's Art Supply in East Nashville. Tell them we sent you. It'll help our plight here to keep holding on to a sponsorship. And you can try this Lucas paint as well. This is Fern. This is Turquoise. This is Violette. And this one is Vermilion. What's your favorite? Let me ask you who some of your favorite photographers are.
You know, that's a good question.
Superlative question.
Yeah, I mean, well, the funny thing is that I really love a lot of photographers that don't take pictures the same way that I do.
Cool. Yes.
I really love street photographers.
Yep.
And I don't do very much street photography, or like any really.
What is street photography for those?
I mean, so I would say like specifically in this instance, the like candid snapshots walking around, like people like Daniel Arnold or Troy Holden, or maybe a slightly more like refined, like Andre Wagner is a really incredible photographer. So I really like that kind of stuff because I think it just shows like a nice ability to observe.
Oh, that's a good way. Yeah.
As opposed to
That's
like
great.
the ability to create, where they're not like forcing anything, they're just walking around and kind of documenting and
Looking.
And you know, it's amazing how much humor or how much like social commentary can come into it after, you know, just capturing something that was happening by itself.
Yeah. You can almost build a story around it.
Yeah.
It's like the creation comes afterward, and maybe what you were referring to, like you're not in a studio, you're concerned about creating it for the viewer.
Yeah.
But it's so like in the moment of the spirit that maybe the storyline can start after the quick shot is made.
Totally.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I think it's cool
that's
too
totally
because
neat.
it's like there isn't really a parallel in photography because I started in music.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times in parallels to music or in recording and audio and stuff like that and producing, I think street photography doesn't really have that type of musical parallel. Like there isn't I mean, I guess people who do like weird random location recordings, but it's not the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
That is true though, and I think that's a good point to make. Is that there's not always a parallel from one art form to another. You know, those are touching on different levels.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes street photography kind of special. Is there's just like something really
Fluidity to it.
Yeah, and
That's cool.
and where like the real skill is just like being there. You know, like
Yes.
being there at that time. You saw it, and that's it. That's like all it was.
Yeah.
Really.
And maybe no one else saw it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
like
that's
kind of
cool.
just noticing things.
Luke, you were telling me about that, how the Buddhists view art and what they think art is. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I'll just watch you.
I don't want to speak too specifically because I definitely am not. I don't know, but from what I understand, at some point Buddhists viewed art more as what naturally exists in nature or something like that. And so with music, for example, like they would say the only true music would be something like maybe wind chimes or something like that, where it's
that's right. That's what you're saying.
it happens
It's just like
randomly,
sound.
nature, yes, and you're not affecting it. It just
You're not. The human is not consciously producing it, or it's not consciously produced.
Interact.
Yes.
There you go.
And influence.
Man. So you were talking about the difference between, oh, look at this mother. Yes, man. Tell me, okay, you've had intimations, like thoughts while you're working on this, maybe flashes of a human in this. Who have you been thinking about? Who's passed through your mind?
Honestly, not many people. I kind of just maybe I just gravitated towards a portrait-y type thing because that's what I do a lot of portraits.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Duh. That was a lot easier than thinking of something to paint, you know?
Yeah.
And then I've just been kind of going mindlessly with it.
That's great.
Who knows what this is? Maybe he's got some crazy hair or some horns or something.
I love the cascading complementary colors here. It feels like some kind of curtain is closing on this on this person. What's a story since you've been doing photography of a time when you were, and I will not take every time for the answer, though I understand how that could be an answer to this question, but what was a time that you were so out of your element and you were so stressed while you were creating that you felt a deficit in skill, equipment, the tension was there, but afterward, when everything was developed, that you were like, that is exactly how it needed to happen?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Cool.
I mean, I think there's a lot of times that I felt underprepared or, you know, like I didn't have what I needed as far as equipment or knowledge. Unfortunately, most of those times I was right, and I didn't. It wasn't like afterwards I was like, oh no, I really nailed that. It was like afterwards I was like, oh fuck, like I learned something from that by figuring out what I needed. And I think a lot of times too, in photography for me specifically, obviously light is everything. It's that's all you have to work with is how much light is there, and where it's coming from. And so sometimes. Admitting to yourself that like if it doesn't look good in real life, there's only so much you can do to make it look cool.
Post.
Yeah, you know, because it was just dark in there. So like the brighter you make it, it's not gonna, you're extrapolating what wasn't there. And sometimes that's great, but sometimes it's also like it's very clearly not real.
Right.
Like. Like I had a portrait session recently, and it turned out great, fortunately.
That's great. Good to hear.
But like I brought a light with me, and it was a new light that I hadn't used before, and I couldn't get the radio sync to work. So I have like a trigger, so you take a picture, and then the light over there will go off, and you don't have to be connected or have the flash on your camera. And I just couldn't figure it out, and it was a dumb thing, obviously.
It's okay.
But very quickly had to be like, all right, cool, I'm going to do it without the flash, because I just can't, I can't waste all this time with this guy. And it turned out fine.
Awesome.
It was okay, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to look like.
Yeah.
It was very different because I thought it was going to be lit, and
Thought it was going to be lit. That's incredible.
I thought it was going to be lit by this light, and in the end it had to be just natural lighting, or available lighting I should say, because it was indoors. But
was there so from what I get from that is that you just have to work with all of what you have, and it's almost expecting, just being observant that something could fall off, and being able to improvise in such a way that you can make something beautiful out of the lack.
Yeah, and I think a lot of creative professional work, videography, photography, audio, all this kind of stuff, so much of what makes people good at what they do, which is not to say that I'm good at what I do, but in that instance,
What if you just said you're good at what you do? Can you just say that to me?
Yeah, I'm good at what I do.
There you go. Boom.
I'm all right.
Moving on. Hell yeah.
I'm passable at least.
That's fair enough. Yeah, go ahead. Dude, I feel like I just want to like keep like just tugging you, man.
Yeah,
That's
you're
good, man.
building me up here.
I'm
Ryan.
trying. I'm happy you're here.
I'm happy to be
cool.
here.
Go ahead.
But I think so much of like what makes a person good is not so much like, oh, this person gets great results, is like, can this person be a good creative problem solver?
Yes.
Because shit's always fucking up, you know,
Yes.
like nothing ever goes right, and you always leave a battery at home, or like the model breaks out, or you know, like stuff that you just can't control, or it rains, or you know.
Or your fucking foot hurts.
Yeah, just like stupid shit will make a difference. I have a hangnail right now that's killing me.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Did
you bite it too long?
Oh man,
Bite it
probably.
too- Can you get in here?
Look at these.
Which
my
one is
nail
it?
beds. Oh,
Where is it?
this guy right there was killing me. It's not super bad now. I
Makes
got
my
one right
butthole
there.
clench up.
Oh yeah, my nail beds are fucking
Do you
awful.
bite when you're nervous?
I mean, maybe. I just bite all the time.
Yeah,
because I'm just like, this thing's hanging off my body. I should probably clamp it between
Eradicate
my teeth.
it.
Yeah.
You know what? When I get nervous, I've been known to get up in there and chomp on one. How do you like that?
Man, we've all been there.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Anyone who says they haven't picked their nose as an adult is lying.
No, I'm talking about chomping down on it, eating it sometimes.
I know, I support it. I support it.
Your reaction to your expression.
I'm just like,
I remember the first time I ate a booger, man. I was in third grade, Miss Davis class, and I loved her, man. She had a boyfriend that was on the University of Michigan basketball team. Very jealous of that, man. I was a third grader. Anyway.
Do you want to be a basketball player?
Yeah, always,
sick.
always. Love playing basketball. But anyway, wanted to be like Mike and Isaiah Thomas. Third grade, Miss Davis, and we had trapper keepers. We had these desks. Check this out. The desks, you know, you sit at, and you could put your shit in here. It was open, you know?
Yeah.
So you put your shit in there.
The little cubby space.
Yeah, exactly. So I was a stressed out little young guy, and, you know, I had a goddamn marker top to this stinky marker, and it had grooves in the white top, right? So I'd be in the classroom and I'd bend over, grab out of my nose, put it on this top, and then I would tuck it behind some fucking books in there. You know, I knew where my stash was, dude. I had to have something that I could go to and I knew would give me a weird shot of, it was like my precious. This is out there, okay? So I'd be stressed and I'd collect all these boogers on this top, and then I would put it on the thing, and then I would pull it out and look at it real on the sly, and I'd take me off one and jam it.
Yeah,
that is so crazy,
that
man.
stash, man.
I know, man, but I don't know. I mean, it's a reaction to stress. It was a reaction to just a feeling uncomfortable. And if, hey, we all got them, you know what I mean? Moving on. Who have been some of your clients that you've photographed that just you were, when the process was done, you just felt the feeling like that was meaningful. That was something that I'm so happy that I got to be a part of.
I mean, so like I got to do a couple little promos for just like, I think we just shot like one roll of film with As Cities Burn.
Oh, nice.
Like right before
Excellent.
they
Yes.
sort of like announced they were back. And that was really cool. It was really cool that I got to shoot film because not a lot of clients will let me shoot film.
Right. Because it's expensive?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it's expensive, and also people don't like the idea that, you know, they're only going to get 36 photos or 72 photos back.
They want to have the choice for
Yeah,
1,000.
totally.
Who would you like to work with in the future, like photography-wise? Just the biggest dream that you've conceptualized, like someday that would be incredible.
So I really, I like doing portrait photography. That's what I do a lot of. I would love to take photos of Tom Waits. I think that would be the coolest shit ever.
Why?
Just because I love him. He's hilarious. His music's really cool. He's a really interesting looking dude, very handsome, but like, so. But yeah, I think that would be a dream for sure.
Is there? Could you see that as a possibility?
I don't think it's impossible.
Got it.
Which is, you know, I think maybe a year ago I would have been like, "There's no way."
Got it.
But,
ooh, that's cool. That's a good change.
So yeah, I would love to do. You know, there's like a ton of portraits that I would love to do. I'd love to get into the fashion world. I think that would be really cool.
See that happening like a mother.
I love clothes.
Heck.
You couldn't tell it by the Carhartts and white T-shirt that I wear every day, but on other people, I think clothes are pretty sweet.
That's cool. Or that what do you find yourself gravitating toward in the fashion industry? What would you like to shoot?
You know, I really like the more set-based like lifestyle. Maybe that's a kind of an oxymoron, but
I get what you mean. Yeah.
When like Gucci puts out like a full lookbook or whatever, and they have these like giant sets that are really sweet, where it's not just like white seamless backdrop. Fashion itself, whatever that word means,
Fash.
you know, is like becoming mainstream now.
Insta grizzle.
Yeah, and honestly, like hip hop, I think has made it really like, with all these like rappers that are doing collabs, like when Yeezy started making like high-end sneakers.
Yeezy is that
Kanye.
Kanye? Okay, god dang it.
Or
42.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
it's all right. I mean, not that he was the one who made high-end sneakers a thing, but I feel like around that era was when people were like, oh, I'm gonna spend $500. Like the everyday skater was gonna spend $500 on a pair of sneakers or something.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, not everyone, but
yeah.
But I feel like that didn't really exist when I was, you know, 12 and skating at the YMCA. And, you know, everyone was wearing, you know, DCs or Vans or Osiris or whatever, you know. $60 tennis shoes is just what everyone had. And
Because they were going to get fucked up.
yeah, exactly, because that shit gets scratched. And if it's not scratched, you're a poser.
Ah, heck
You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. The truth. That's good. I was a poser.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was also a poser. I was terrible at skating.
Dude, I'm terrified of it.
Yeah, I told myself
I'd rather eat my boogers.
Anyway. That's kind of nice, though, you know?
Thanks. Go ahead. I'm clearly rocking, dude. This is old Music City booking shirt. There was a pot leaf here. Come on in here.
Hell yeah.
So I took Sharpie right when I got the shirt.
Nice.
Pot
Like,
leaf.
now it's perfect.
Now you can. I
made it perfect.
God, it just never stops. It never stops. It never stops.
No.
Let me just do this right here. How
Yeah,
low can you go?
Lay it on me. You know,
How low can you go?
in
Do them splits,
in
dude?
these Carhartts, they stopped me right about
Oh
here.
damn, dude. Let's see.
There we go.
Look at this tat zap.
Yeah, there we go.
Wait, first look at these sacks
Oh yeah, my
Taco
taco socks.
with the skull vibes.
Yeah,
You are legitimate.
that's how we do it.
Tell me what's happening here. Hit me with it.
You know, I think
The raw.
I definitely embraced the skull vibe.
Cool.
Went
Yeah,
with
for
it.
sure.
You know, gave him some horns or some little wispies.
Horns or wispies. I love
You know,
it.
whatever
Wispy
it is.
horns.
Having a crazy hair day.
Yes.
But tried to just keep him kind of sad, and
I can see that for sure.
then honestly, after you mentioned that shoot, I decided to bring the red in, and I think it
Excellent.
added a nice accent.
Yeah, for
maybe.
sure.
I don't know.
No, I think it did too. It defined it a little bit.
It helped me
I like
shape
that.
it a lot better than the black did.
Very cool. Nice.
Yeah.
And I love how the distance, it's really cool because this gray up here creates a distance where, I mean, the blue is underneath, but the gray over it makes it seem like a further off skyline, and I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's not as two-dimensional as
Yeah, heck yeah.
it could have been, maybe.
You really created a mood there.
Hell yeah. Hashtag mood.
There it is. All right, so this has been Make It Perfect. Seiji, what's your last name?
Inouye.
You got to spell that.
Inouye.
Seiji Inouye.
Inouye.
And if you're not familiar with his photography, you should be. What's your Instagram?
At Seiji at sei.ji.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, he wins.
Yeah. Well, I wanted just at Seiji without the dot, and some guy had it.
Let's
so.
find him. Have you looked him up?
You know, he got there first. It's
Yeah,
fine.
fair enough. That's
It's fine.
So what else? What other information would you have? People know about you?
I mean, that's really it. My website's seiji.pro,
Got it.
and
Yeah.
hit me up.
Seiji, dude, that was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was cool. Did you have fun?
Yeah, that was fucking
Cool
great.
beans. Cool beans.